Hello students, welcome back to the online class of science physics. This is your Naima Miss back with structure of eye and its colorful world. In our previous class we have learned about the structure of eye and even we have learned about the defects due to the defects in vision due to the focal length. Yes, so what were there? There were myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia, right? So in today's class we will learn about the dispersion and scattering of light. We'll learn about dispersion and scattering of light. Okay, dispersion and scattering of light. In our daily life, whenever we see a rainfall, yes, with a slight sunlight, we observe a cute and the prettiest and attractive and beautiful rainbow, right? We observe it in the sky. So after a rainfall, rain shower, we will see this, right? It must have fascinated you with the spectacular colors appearing as a semicircular band, right? So in a previous class, we have even learned about the behavior of light. Yeah, when it refracts through the plane surface and curved surfaces such as lens. Yeah, we have already learned about this. So in today's class, we will learn about prism. What it is? Prism. So as we know, a prism, if you see a prism, you can say that it is a transparent medium. It is a transparent medium. So this is a prism, right? So this is a transparent medium separated from surrounding medium by at least two planes, which are inclined at certain angles in such a way that when the light incident on one plane of surface emerges from the other plane surface, right? To understand, suppose from light is coming on, falling on one surface, it will come out from the other surface, right? So to understand this, we will do with an experiment. Okay, we'll go with an activity. So to do this activity, we require prism. We require a piece of white chart, that is 20 into 20 centimeters, pencil, pin, scale and protractor. What we are going to do, we are going to take a prism and we are going to place this prism on the sheet. So this is the sheet and we are placing a prism with its triangular, that is the base of it should be here like this on the paper. Okay, so what we will do now, we'll just take a sheet, we will take a triangular base of the prism on the chart, and what we'll do, we'll draw the lines around the prism base using a pencil. Okay, we will just keep the prism like this and we will draw the line borders. Okay, and then we will remove the prism and we will name those vertices as, so what we have done, we have kept here the prism, we have taken the borders now and we will mark them as A, B, A, P, Q and R. Okay, we'll mark them as P, Q and R. So now we will measure the PQ and PR angles. Okay, we'll measure the PQ and PR angles. This angle of prism is A. Okay, so all the angles here we can write as the A. Now the angle of prism is A. We will mark a point M on the side of the PQ and we will draw a perpendicular line. Okay, we will mark this as M and we will draw a perpendicular line. I will just draw this in a big size so that it is visible. So this is the prism, right? We have taken on the sheet. This is the prism. We have marked this as P, Q and R. Here we have taken the angle, right? We have taken the angle of P, Q and all as A, and then what we have done, we have taken a point which is called M and we have drawn a perpendicular line like this. Okay, and then we will draw a line with 30 degrees to the normal. Okay, we will just draw a line So this is your normal now, M, and this is the normal, and we will just draw a line which is 30 degrees to this normal. Okay, this is 30 degrees angle. Okay, so this will be the angle of incidence, right? So now similarly we will do with different angles also. First we will see the angle with the 30 degrees, and this line is what, as I said, this line is incident ray, and the angle, this is incident angle 30 degrees. So now we will place the prism on this. Again we will take the prism, and again we will keep the prism like this on this, and after keeping the prism we will see the difference. Okay, and now what we will do, we will keep the prism here, and we will keep the pins, one pin here and one pin here. Okay, these are the two pins that we are placing on the line. We are fixing two pins on the line, so we will mark it as point A and point B. Okay, we will mark it as point A and B. Now what we will do, we will look for the image of the pins through this prism. Okay, and we will mark those images as C and D. So when after you keep the prism, you will see that the images are somewhere here. You can see that they are somewhere here, and you can mark it as C and D. Okay, now we'll remove the prism and we will just draw the line. Okay, this will be your straight line which is containing pins C and D. Okay, this is the refracted ray. Okay, refracted ray. Now what we will do, we have joined the line C and D and extended to meet the P, R and N. So what we will do, we will again make a, now this is the one line, right? So this surface we will draw one perpendicular line, that is this one, right? This is N. The point where it is meeting is N. Okay, so the here angle of, this is the angle of one more incidence, or you can say refraction also, right? So now what we will do, we will draw a line C and D. C and D extend to meet PR at N. This is the emerging ray, right? Refraction, ray of refraction. Then we will draw this PR. At PR we will draw one normal N. The angle between the normal at N and the emergent ray is the angle of emergence, which measures this angle and note its value in the one table. You make a table, in that you write the angle of incidence, okay, and angle of emergence, okay, and angle of deviation. These three you note down in one table at different angles, like 30, 40, 50, 60, so on. Okay, so now what we have done, we have joined the points M and N. Yes, we have joined the lines M and N. This normal also we are extending like this. Okay, so this normal also we are extending like this. Fine. And we have even joined AB, MN and CD. This represents the path of light when it suffers from the refraction through the prism. Now extended both the incident and the emergent ray till they meet at a point O. Okay, so this what we are doing, we are extending this. So we are extending these lines. Okay, we are extending these. Suppose if the ray was falling, it would be like this, right? It would be like this. So it is meeting at a point O. It is meeting at a point O. Now we will measure the angle MNO. Okay, MNO. We'll measure this angle. This is the angle of deviation. After measuring, what it is given as? It is given as angle of deviation. So this angle MNO, this is nothing but the angle of deviation. Fine. So note the values in the table here. Repeat this process for different angles, that is as I said 40, 50, 60, 70, as long as you want. Then what we'll do, take an angle of incidence along the x-axis and angle of deviation along the y-axis. So we will draw a graph like this, and on this graph what we are going to do, we are taking angle of incidence on x-axis. Okay, so angle of incidence we are taking on x-axis and angle of deviation we are taking on y-axis. We will obtain a curve. Okay, one curve will be obtained like this. The graph which is obtained from this experiment activity will be like this. Okay, so we will draw a tangent line to curve parallel to the x-axis at the lowest point. So we will draw a tangent line which is parallel to the x-axis at the lowest point of the graph. The point where the line cuts the y-axis gives the angle of minimum deviation. So the point where it is cutting. So here it is cutting, right? So the point which is cutting the angle of this y-axis will give the minimum deviation. What it will give us? It will give us minimum deviation. It will give us minimum deviation. So the refractive index of prism is given as n is equal to sine a plus d by 2 by sine a by 2. Okay, this is the refractive index of prism. Okay, using this formula we can measure the refractive index of materials of prism. Fine. Let us solve a small problem. If I say suppose a prism is having an angle A is equal to 60 degrees which produces minimum deviation of D is equal to 30 degrees. Okay, then we have to find the refractive index. Okay, what we have to find? The refractive index of the prism. What is the refractive index of prism? So how we will find out what is the equation, what is the formula I said? N is equal to sine A plus D by 2 by sine A by 2. So what we will do? We will substitute this in that equation. Okay. So now as we said sine A plus D by 2 by sine A by 2, right? So this is the formula of refractive index. We are substituting this sine A is 60 plus 30, that is 90 by 30, 90 by 2 by sine A is 60 by 2, right? So what we will get? Sine, you must write compulsory, children. Sine, what we will get here? 45 by sine 30, right? Sine 45 degrees by sine 30. So in that case, what will get the answer? 1 by root 2 by 1 by 2. 1 by root 2 by 1 by 2, which is equal to root 2, right? So now refractive index is equal to root 2. So refractive index of the prism here is root 2. I hope this is clear, children. So with this we end up today's class. That is the we have learned about the prism activity. In next class we will learn about dispersion of light. So thank you.